Okay, grace and peace. Shalom to everybody. This is Yehuda ben Isaiah. We are back again. Continue this lesson.
Khan, all praise to the Most High. It's Quinn Yahweh Ban Yasha Allah. Hey, Shashan, while you trying to get the brother on, what you can do, you can mute your mic while you're getting him on, and Yehuda and I could correspond. And Yehuda, if he needs you, he will talk to you. But while you're trying to get the other brother on, you can mute your mic in the meantime. Got you. All right, Yehuda.
Yes. Once again, I say grace and peace be unto everybody. This is your brother Yehuda ben Isaiah, and we are going to continue this lesson that we did last week concerning the Jews returning to the Messiah, the 10 tribes returning to the kingdom of heaven. So, for those of you who did not see the lesson last week, we are going to do a quick recap. But before we do that, Shawsham, can you go to the email? It says Olmex. It's one of the last emails that I sent you. It's titled Olmex. I want to deal with right away. Right? I just want to deal with the Olmex, the timeline, dealing with the because they have this lie, right, that the 10 tribes came to the Americas when no man never dwelt. So we are going to play the games that they play. Play all the games. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, if you want me to get a scripture while he's finding that, I can look for the scripture and be ahead of the game a little bit.
Yes. While you're doing that, right? Like I said, I want to do a quick recap. So we're going to 2nd Ezra, chapter 13. So while he's looking for that, yes, let's just continue, right? 2nd Ezra 13, verses 1 and 2. I'm not going to really look in. You can look inside the Apocrypha, but I'm going to read from my notes.
I have it. Yehuda, I have it.
Okay, so real quick, right? Pull up that.
You share it now or wait?
Where it says the huh?
I'm about to share it. Hold on.
Share it now.
Yeah, please. Yeah, yes.
Right there.
Yes, this is it right here. You see that? Where it says the Bible timeline, right? This is the cover of the book. So now we are going to go inside. Go to the next image, if you can, please. This is the Bible timeline, folks. This is dealing with the history of the Jews from the time of Adam to the time of the Messiah. So right here on page 69, you see what it says 1206 BC? I'm going to read it. It says the Israelites began giving to idolatry. All right. It says again, are delivered by God into the hands of the Philistines and the Ammonites. Right. So this happened here. It says 1206 BC. 1206 BC. Right. So around this time, you're talking about the time of Joshua and the Jews being slaves to the Philistines and the Ammonites, etc. Right. So now go to the next image. So it says again, 1206 BC, correct? Go to the next image, Shemsho. It should be one more.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah. It says 1206 BC.
Hold on.
Okay.
1, 2. No, it's only 2.
Before they go ahead.
Oh, wait. I see it. Hold on. My bad. I got it.
Yes.
I got it. Hold on.
Yes.
All right. Hold on. Let me go back to it. Jeez.
If you don't get it, don't worry. I read it.
Off here too.
No problem.
No, I got it. Hold on.
Okay. So as everybody can see, it clearly says 1206 BC. 1206 BC. Okay. It says again, the Israelites being given to idolatry again. No. This is what I just read. I just read this here. I have one more. It should be one more image within that. But don't worry. If you don't see it, don't worry. I read it. I just read it. I read it. Don't worry. In fact, let me read it. Don't worry. So it says 1206. You good, Shamshar. It says 1206 BC, correct? Now, look what it says here concerning the Olmecs. It says the mysterious Olmec civilization, it says located in ancient Mexico, prospered in pre-classical, formative Mesoamerica formed 1200 BC to 400 BC. So we just read the Israelites were delivered to the Philistines and the Ammonites at 1206 BC. So it's no way in hell that the or the Americas had no people dwelling. There's no way, because it clearly says again 1200 BC was the Olmec civilization, and it lasted from 1200 BC through 400 BC, right? And the Jews, they were being delivered by God into the hands of the Philistines and the Ammonites in 1206 BC.
Yep, that's it on the screen.
That lie has been destroyed already. That lie is destroyed already. Okay,
that's it on the screen. So,
now let's go to second Ezra.
Got it.
Yes, that lie is destroyed.
I got it. When we read, or you going to read it?
Say that the 10 tribes came to the Western Hemisphere where never mankind dwelt. That lie is done. Now let's go back to the recap. So second Ezra, if you all have your Apocrypha, right? Let's go back to second Ezra and let's take a look at this one more time, right? So it says second Ezra chapter 13, right? Verses 1 through 2. It says Christ, the wind that and the sea represents the people. Okay, so Christ is the wind that controls the sea and the people. Now jump down to verse 5. It says Ezra saw a vision of the multitude gathered to subdue Christ the Messiah, right? So Ezra right here, he did not understand the vision. Ezra did not understand the vision that he saw. Okay? So God showed Ezra the vision. Let's take a look at this, right? So let's go to verses.
What chapter we in?
My phone.
What chapter we in?
Going blank for some reason. You guys can still see me, correct? Let's go.
Yeah, we can see. What chapter you in though?
We in second Ezra chapter 13. Chapter 13. And we'll I just read verse 5. Now we're dealing with 6 and 7. Verses 6 and 7. So it says, so we're doing a quick recap. So it says that Christ, he called himself a mountain, right? Meaning a kingdom, right? And
okay, we breaking up. Okay, hold on. When he come back, we breaking up.
Hold on, Yehuda.
Okay, guys, he was saying, hold on, Yehuda. Can you hear us now?
Yeah, your microphone breaking up.
yeah, what's up?
They couldn't hear you.
Yeah, we broke up. Let me stop you right there. You said second Ezra. Let's slow down for a second. Yeah, let me slow it down. Second Ezra.
Yeah,
you got like
verse 6 and 7.
Delay. It says, "But I beheld."
Chapter 13, yes, verse 6 and 7. It says,
it says, "Behold, I beheld."
Yes, I'm just doing a quick recap. So you can just follow, you can follow along as I go. I'm doing a quick recap.
But I was reading verse 6, but verse 6 says, "But I beheld."
Yes, I know. It says, "I beheld," right? And lo, and has graved himself a great mountain, right? But I'm just showing people the recap. So that means that he called himself a kingdom, meaning the heavenly kingdom, the gospel, right?
Gotcha.
Can you guys, my screen keep going blank for some reason. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on either. It's really messing up. And let me apologize to
Hold on.
everyone. I know
don't
everybody's tuned
understand. I
in.
don't see.
Technical dip, and most
The
likely
internet is
it's the
fine.
damn devil.
Yeah, it keeps going.
Yeah. I don't know why you breaking up your.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's
Is
good.
your Wi-Fi and everything good?
Yeah, hold on, let me check.
Everything over here is
That's
fine.
weird.
That's weird.
Hold on for a second.
I'm good. So while he's gone, I'll just read verse 6 and 7. It says, "But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain and flew up upon it." Verse 7. "But I would have seen the
Okay, I think I might be good.
the hill was graven, and I could not." Verse 6 and 7. He's back now.
Yeah, I'm back. You guys can
Yeah, I
hear
was
me?
reading verse 6 and 7 while he was gone. Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So basically, right, verses 6 and 7, it says that Christ, he called himself a mountain, right? Meaning the kingdom of heaven, Christ is at hand, right? So when you go to the book of Matthew, we're not going to go, I'm just doing a quick recap. When you go to the book of Matthew, chapter 4, verse 17, it says, Christ said that the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Repent, right? When you go to the book of Mark, chapter 1, verse 15, it says, repent and believe the gospel. So this is the whole idea of Christ's heavenly kingdom coming to earth to teach the gospel to all 12 tribes, correct? Now, let's jump down to verse 89. Let's take a look at verse 89. So it says again, it says that many gathered together to subdue him, but was afraid, and he showed no violence, right? No violence. So when you go to the book of Matthew, right, chapter 26 and verse 55, Christ, in fact, let's take a look at that real quick. Let's go to the book of Matthew. Let's take a look at real quick the book of Matthew, chapter 26. Right? Let's take a quick look. Matthew, let me know when you get there. You can read it if you want to. Matthew,
what verse you want?
And verse 55. Because again, before you read it, it says it one more time in 2nd Ezra, chapter 13, verse 89. It says, and many gathered together to subdue him, but was afraid. And he showed no violence, right? So now, are you in the book of Matthew?
Yes,
chapter
I am.
26? Okay, read verse 55. Read verse 55.
Matthew chapter 26, verse 55. In that same hour, yes. In that same hour, Jesus to the multitude, are ye come out as against a thief with swords and staves for to take me? I sat daily with you teaching in the temple, and ye laid no hold on me. Right.
So it says in Ezra that they gathered together to subdue him, but they was afraid, correct?
Yes.
Now let's go to the book of Matthew, chapter 2. Let's back up. Let's back up to chapter 2. Because the lesson is that the 10 tribes, they gathered back to the homeland, the Holy Land, to receive the gospel of the Messiah.
Done. Hey, brother, just came on. I mean, you got an echo coming in from, I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
Let's see, Matthew's what now?
Book of Matthew, chapter 2 and verse 14. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at verse 14, the book of Matthew, chapter 2.
Matthew chapter 2, verse 14, and reads on this wise. It says, when he arose, he took the young child and his mother by night and departed into Egypt.
Okay, he departed into Egypt, correct? Now let's
Yes,
jump down to verse 17 and 18.
Verse 17. Then was fulfilled that which was spoken by Jeremiah the prophet, saying, in Ramah was there a voice heard, lamentations and weeping, and great mourning, Rachel weeping for her children, and would not be comforted because they are not.
So it says that Rachel weeping for her children, correct?
Yes.
And the reason why is because all 12 tribes were in the land at this time, right? And they had to be in the land because they had to receive the gospel. About the time Christ was born, God had it, so all the tribes was dwelling in Judea, right? So when it says Rachel weeping for her children, it's telling you and I that all the 12 tribes was dwelling in the region. So Herod slaughtered babies from the tribe of Reuben all the way to the tribe of Benjamin, except the tribe of Dan, because the tribe of Dan had migrated some 200 years before. Okay, they migrated to what we call Ethiopia or Cush. All right, so that's why you do not see the tribe of Dan among the 144,000. That's the reason why. That's a whole nother topic. Now let's go to the book of Isaiah. Real quick. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at Isaiah chapter 53. Okay, chapter 53. So it says, as you turn to the book of Isaiah, it says one more time, 2nd Ezra verse 8 and 9. It says, and many gathered together to subdue him, right? But it was afraid, and he showed no violence, correct? Now let's go to Isaiah 53. When you get there, you can read verse 9.
Isaiah chapter 53, verse 9.
Yes.
And he made his grave with the wicked and with the rich in his death, because he had done no violence, neither was any deceit in his mouth.
So it says that he done no violence, neither was any deceit in his mouth, correct?
Yes, sir.
Verse 10, right? Verse 10 says, and yet it pleased the Lord to bruise him, and he has put him to grief. When thou shalt make his soul an offering for sin, he shall see his seed. He shall prolong his days in the pleasure of the Lord, shall prosper in his hand. Correct? Now, let's go back to the book of Ezra. Somebody read verse 10 for me.
Verse 10, it reads on his wise. 2nd Ezra chapter 13, verse 10. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests.
He cast out sparks and tempests, correct? Now let's go to the book of Jeremiah. Let's take a look at Jeremiah to see what he says. Let's go to Jeremiah chapter 23. Jeremiah chapter 23 and read verse 29.
Jeremiah chapter 23, verse 29, and it reads on this wise. Is not my word like a fire, says the Most High, and like a hammer that breaketh the rock in pieces?
Correct. And the book of Hebrews, we are not going to go there, but in the book of Hebrews, correct, right? When you go to chapter 4 and verse 12, it says the words or Christ's words was sharper than a two-edged sword, correct? Now let's go back to the book of Ezra and read verse 12. Back inside Ezra, we are going to go back and forth. Okay, we're going to prove in this chapter 13. I'm sorry, go ahead. Verse 12.
2nd chapter 13, verse 12, and reads on his wise. Afterwards, I saw the same man come down from the mountain and call unto him another peaceable multitude.
And called unto him another peaceable multitude. So the first multitude that came to subdue the Messiah was the Pharisees, the Herodians, the Sanhedrin, those Jews who did not believe on the gospel, those Jews who did not believe on him, they came to subdue him. So he called himself another piece of a multitude, because at this time, many of the Jews also was dwelling in the region of Judea, was from the tribe of Judah and Benjamin, etc. That's why it says in the gospel, he came unto his own, but his own received him not, right? But he also have other sheep within the 10 tribes that came back to the land to receive the gospel. They had to return back. Okay, it was ordained by God for all the tribes to return in order to receive the gospel. So now let's go to verse 16 and 17 in Ezra.
Second Ezra chapter 16, and it reads on as wise. For as I conceive in mine understanding, woe unto them that shall be left in those days, and much more woe unto them that are not left behind. Verse 17. For they that were not left were in heaviness. Right?
Okay. Yeah. So now let's skip to verse 22.
Verse 22. Whereas thou hast spoken of them that are left behind, this is the interpretation.
This is the interpretation. So when you go back to 16 and 17, it says, woe. What was that at again? I just want to, okay, here we go.
As I conceive in my understanding, woe unto them that shall be left in those days, and much more woe unto them that are not left behind.
That are not left behind, meaning those that went into the further country to keep the laws of Moses. He says, more woe unto them, right? Because they also suffered persecution. Those Jews that went into Africa, and we are going to prove it in this lesson, they suffered persecution also. They went through hell also. That's why it says, woe unto those that are not left behind. Left behind where? We are going to see. Let's read verse 24.
Verse 24.
Yes.
Know this, therefore, that they which be left behind are more blessed than they that be dead.
That be dead, correct? Now, again, it says that those left behind, let's take a look at this, right? Those that are left behind are more blessed than those or they that are dead, right? Now, those that died through difficult traveling, right? When you deal with, for example, the brother name was Labagola. He was of the tribe of Ephraim. In fact, I'm going to read what he said. So bear with me for a quick second here. We're not going to put it on the screen, but I'm going to read what he said concerning the difficulties they had traveling when they left. Right? So this is page 42 right here. This brother here, he was from the tribe of Ephraim, right? And he relates the story of his ancestors traveling from above the Euphrates, migrating down to Ethiopia. Not Ethiopia, I'm sorry, West Africa, right? So he says right here, page 42. In fact, this is the page here. I don't know if you guys can see it, but I'm just gonna read it.
We can see it.
I'm gonna read it. I know I sent Short Sham the email, but that's okay. I'm just gonna read it because I don't really want him to put it on the screen like that. So it says, he says, B'nai Ephraim. He says here, let me take a look at it. He said the other natives, they call them Imu Yanquam, or strange people. My people, he says, the children of Ephraim have part of the Hebrew Torah written in the script of Aramaic, right? He says that his people have part of the Torah written in the script of Aramaic, brought with them when they came into their own country, right? And over 1,800 years ago, our Torah is not written in ink, but burned into parchment by a hot iron. Therefore, no letter can be changed. So he said that his descendants, when they migrated down to West Africa, they had Aramaic. Now, that is the language that the Jews were speaking when they left the captivity. That also proves that lie of the Native American Indians, right? And the Mexicans being Hebrews because they say they spoke Hebrew and they found the ancient Paleo Hebrew, etc., etc., etc. When in fact, that was the ancient Hebrew. But when the tribes left, they were speaking Aramaic. So Shem Shaw, can you pull up that video that says it says Aramaic? In fact, it says Aramaic short video. Aramaic short video. Final. Then it says final.
On your YouTube? On your YouTube?
Yes. You should see a link.
Hold on.
It's gonna say Aramaic short video. It may be 2 folders. You can click on either one. It doesn't matter.
All right, hold on. Let me see.
Okay. While you're doing that, I'm going
short. It says short video final.
Yes. Please. So he said his ancestors, when they migrated from Assyria to West Africa, they had the Aramaic. That is the language that the 10 tribes were speaking when they left the captivity. So that's a dagger to all of you who say that the Native American Indians and the Mexicans are Hebrews because they had the Hebrew script. No, but they did not have the Aramaic. The Native Americans did not have no Aramaic. Okay, so you might as well burn that chart tonight. When this lesson is done right here, that chart is over. I mean, it's been over, but it's definitely going to be over tonight. I put my life on that. So can you turn the volume up a little bit?
Yes, sir. Turn it up, Sam.
It's up as loud as it can go. Hold on. Let me see something.
Okay.
That's better?
There you go. Yes.
Independently from the Hebrew. By the 5th century BC, in Aramea, also called Babylon, it no longer resembled the old Hebrew. And it is this
Pause that real quick. Pause it real quick, sir. He said, around the time the captivity, right? It no longer resembled the old Hebrew. It became Aramaic. So when the 10 tribes left, they were speaking Aramaic. That's why you hear about Christ and all the Hebrews that was dwelling in that region when he was on the earth in Judea was speaking Aramaic. Okay, continue, Shawshan.
Okay.
In use by the Israelites, it continued to evolve into the modern Hebrew letters that we're familiar with. By the end of the 19th century, the translation of the Semitic alphabet was it no longer resembled the old Hebrew it came from. And it is this Aramaic adopted during their captivity. And it is this Aramaic square script Israel adopted during their captivity. We went to the Tashkent Institute of Archaeology.
Listen good.
Containing a treasure of artifacts. Among them, 2,200-year-old displayed on the ancient clay is Aramaic script, the day-to-day language of the Israelite tribes.
Aramaic script.
Here we also met Professor Usmanova, a semi retired archaeologist. We went to the Tashkent, where we gained access to a restricted facility containing a treasure of ancient artifacts. Among them, clearly displayed on the ancient clay, is Aramaic script, the day-to-day language of the Israelite. Clearly displayed on the ancient clay is Aramaic script, the day-to-day language of the Israelite tribes.
Okay, that's good, Shawsham. You can stop that. You can stop.
But in the Aramaic,
Yeah, you can stop it. Let's continue. Let's continue. So I just want to show everybody, okay, that the 10 tribes, they were speaking Aramaic. The Native American Indians were not speaking Aramaic. They did not have the Aramaic writings nowhere. They never found no writings nowhere in South America, Central America, North America of any Aramaic. Why? Because they did not come over here. They did not come to the Americas. You're going to see as we continue. So now,
okay, excuse us, they broke us up again. Job Issachar, please stop calling YouTube, man. Messing up our live. You broke up. That's Job Israel calling YouTube, messing up our live.
Yeah, that's the devil. Because they know they're about to get their heads blown off tonight.
No, we good.
You want me to play the rest of the video?
We good. Let's go to verse.
No,
we good. We good. Let's go to verse 26 in Second Ezra.
Verse 26. Second Ezra chapter 13, verse 26 on his wise.
I don't know what this thing.
The same is he whom the Most High, the highest, have kept a great season, which by his own self shall deliver his creature.
Right.
And he shall order them that are left behind.
He shall order them that are left behind. How is the Messiah going to order those that are left behind? He's going to teach them. He's the king that came to Judea. Uh-oh, it messing up again?
No, go ahead. You good. You good. Go ahead.
Can you see me?
Yeah, go ahead.
We can see you.
Man.
Hold on. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I think it's his internet. Because he the only one that's falling out the stream for some reason.
Yeah, he probably got to get closer to a window or something. Call him back in the room.
Okay.
Because he's probably need to get close to a window or something.
Okay. Well, oh, there you go. He's on.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on tonight, man. But I think Satan trying to get this lesson from being put out here. Because they know they're about to get their heads blown off tonight.
They said Job Issachar.
Yeah, they calling streamlines and get that nigga. They say get that nigga quick. He's about
get
to
that nigga off.
He's about to destroy this life for good. Now let's go to verse 30.
Verse 30 on this wise. And he shall come to astonishment of them that dwell on the earth.
The astonishment of them that dwell on the earth. So let's take a look at this, right? Let's go to the book of Matthew. So it says again, let me read it one more time. It says, and he, Christ, the Messiah, he shall come to the astonishment of them that dwell on the earth.
Right.
Keep those words in mind, the astonishment of them that dwell on the earth. Now let's go to Matthew 13, and verse 50, let me see, hold on a second. Matthew 13, verse 54.
Matthew chapter 13, verse 54. And when he was come into his own country, he taught them in their synagogue, insomuch that they were astonished.
They were what?
And said, they were astonished.
Go ahead.
And said, whence hath this man this wisdom and these mighty words?
They said, where did this man come from? They were astonished at his teachings. The same thing it says here, Ezra. Let me clip this one more time here. It says, and he shall come to the astonishment of them that dwell on the earth. Right? So now let's look at this now. Verse 32. Let's read verse 32. I will read it. Verse 32. It says here, I'm in the book of Ezra. Let me know when you get there. I'm
there.
Okay. It says, and the time shall be when these things shall come to pass, and the signs shall happen, which I showed thee before. It says, and then shall my son be declared, whom thou sawest as a man ascending. Ascending from where? When you jump back up to verses 1 and 2, ascending from the sea. The sea represents the people.
Right.
Ascending from the sea. And he was the wind that controlled the people. He was the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords. He's the Messiah. Not Arya, not Johanna, your whole belly, that Negro Nate, the snake, all these false leaders that you follow. No, he's the Messiah.
Right.
So it says,
bring it out.
Let's go to verse 34. Verse 34. Let's take a look at verse 34 here, right? In second verse 34 says, and an innumerable multitude, keep those words in mind, okay? And an innumerable multitude shall be gathered together, okay, together as thou sawest them, willing to come, and to overcome him by fighting. To overcome Christ by fighting, right? Just as it says, when you jump back up in verse 9, second Ezra. Let me read it one more time. It says, and lo, as he saw the violence, okay, the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war. So let's now read in second Ezra now. Let's take a look at this here. Verse 36. You want to read that, QANATH?
Yes, verse 36.
Yes.
And Zion shall come and shall be showed to all men, being prepared and built like as thou sawest the hill graven without hands.
Exactly. So it says again, and Zion, Christ, shall come and shall be showed to all men. To all men. Right? To the Jew first, and then the Gentile. The Jew first, and then the Gentile. That's just as Christ told this the Syro-Phoenician woman. He said to her, he said, let the children eat first. Let the children eat first. And then the Gentiles can eat. Right? So it says again, it says, and Zion shall come and shall be showed to all men, being prepared and builded like as thou sawest the hill graven, okay, graven without hand. It says his kingdom will be graven or carved without hands. So his kingdom will be an earthly kingdom. When he came to Jerusalem, he brought the kingdom of God to Jerusalem, right? So it says that his kingdom will be built without hands, correct, Kunal? Let's go to second Corinthians now. 2 Corinthians chapter 5. Excuse me. Yeah, 2 Corinthians chapter 5. Let's take a look right here. It says that his kingdom will be called without hands, right? So when you get to 2 Corinthians, right, read chapter 5. We'll go to chapter 5 and read verse 1.
2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 1. For we know that if our earthly house of this tabernacle was dissolved, we have building of the Most High, and house not made with hands, eternal in the heavens. In heaviness.
Okay. Did not we just read? We just read that in verse 36. We just read it, right?
Yep. Yes.
Read it. It says, one more time, let me clip this one more time, verse 36. It says right here, being prepared and builded like as thou sawest, the hill graven without hands. Because his kingdom is a kingdom of earthly kingdom. All right? The people make up the kingdom. Those that believe on the Messiah. Those that believe on his gospel, they make up the kingdom, the church, right? So
let me read verse 5 again. I mean, chapter 5, verse 1 again.
Okay.
For we know that if our earthly house of this tabernacle was dissolved, we have a building of the Most High, a house not made with hands, eternal in the heavens.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. I mean, come on, man. This is elementary right here. Like I said, once this lesson is over tonight, there's no doubt. I almost willing to bet you it's going to be many people tomorrow that's going to get rid of that damn chart. Or if they don't have a chart in their possession, they are going to stop believing it after tonight. So now let's take a look at Luke, the book of Luke, Kanoff and Shorsham. Let's go to the book of Luke, chapter 17. Luke 17, right? And we're going to read verses 20 and 21. So it says that Christ, his kingdom, was built without hands. We verified it in 2nd Ezra, verse 13, and 2 Corinthians, chapter 5 and verse 1. So now
Luke chapter 17, verse 21 on this
verse 20,
wise.
Verse 20 and 21. 20 and 21.
Verse 20. And when he was demanded of the Pharisees, when the kingdom of the Most High should come, he answered them and said, the kingdom of the Most High cometh not with observation. Verse 21. Neither shall they say, lo here, O lo there, for behold, the kingdom of the Most High is within you.
Within you, correct? Just verify what we read in 2 Corinthians in verse 36. The kingdom of heaven is without observation. So let's take a look at here, right? It says all men and women that came to Zion, which is Jerusalem, and accept and believe on the gospel, okay, will be part of the kingdom, of the new kingdom, that new mountain that he called when he go back to 2nd Ezra, verse 1 and 2. That mountain that he called, that is his kingdom. He graven himself a kingdom, the gospel, right? So everybody who believe on him will be part of his kingdom, will be part of that church that make up the that graven hill that he carved, correct? Now let's go back to 2nd Ezra. Let's go back to 2nd Ezra and let's read 37 and 38.
Verse 37 and verse 38.
Yeah, let's take a look at that.
Go ahead. This my son shall rebuke the wicked inventions of those nations which for their wicked life are fallen into the tempest. Verse 38. And shall lay before them their evil thoughts and the torments wherewith they shall begin to be tormented, which are like unto a flame, and he shall destroy them without labor by the law, which is like unto fire.
Without labor or without law, correct? I mean, without labor, but it says, yeah, without labor by law, without labor by the law, right?
By the law, yeah.
Right, without labor, but with the law of Moses, right? Or the gospel. So whoever do not believe in the gospel, right, they will be judged and cast into the lake of fire. Point blank, period. Okay, so when he returned to judge all men and women, right? Every knee shall bow and every tongue confess. That's a fact. Okay, so
Right.
it says that and he will destroy them. Let's take a look at it one more time. He will destroy all of them without labor by the Lord. Now let's go to Galatians real quick. Galatians chapter 6. It says that he will destroy them without labor, but with the Lord. Yeah, let's take a look at Galatians chapter 6 and
What verse?
verses 1 and 2.
Galatians chapter 6, verse 1 and 2.
Right.
Brethren, if a man be overtaken in a fault, ye which are spiritual, resort such a one in the spirit of meekness, considering thyself, lest thou also be tempted. Verse 2. Bear ye one another burdens, and so fulfill the law of Yahawashi, Christ.
The law of who?
Christ.
The law of Christ. It does not say, bear ye one another's burdens, and so fulfill the law of Moses. Do it say that, Colonel? Or Shawsham, y'all see that?
Or does
it say the law of Christ?
The law of Christ.
Who is your king? Is your king Moses or is it the Messiah? Yeshua Ha Mashayach Yahawashi, whatever you want to call him. Who's your king? It says the law of Christ. The law of Christ, right? Yeah, it says the law of Christ. That's what it said. Now let's go to 1 Corinthians. 1 Corinthians chapter 9. Not the law.
1 Corinthians chapter 9. What verse?
Verses 19 through 21.
1 Corinthians chapter 19 on this wise.
Right.
For though I be free from all men, yet have I made myself servant unto all, that I might gain the more. Verse 20. And unto the Jews I became as a Jew. That I might gain the Jews.
I'm sorry. Stop right there. He says, and unto the Jews I became a Jew. How can Paul become a Jew when he was already a Jew? When he was already, because Paul, if I'm not mistaken, right? He was of the tribe of Benjamin, correct? Benjamin. Right. So how can he become a Jew when he was already a Jew? Because at this time, all the Jews or all the tribes were called Jews. Because at this particular time, they became one stick after the captivity. When they migrated, they became one stick. So they was called Jews from that day forward. Okay, so how is it possible? It says, and to the Jews, Paul says, I became a Jew. He was already a Jew. How can he become a Jew? Hey, we keep reading, Kunal.
What verse? I'm sorry, Salakia.
Verse 20.
Verse 20.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
And unto the Jews I became as a Jew.
Yeah.
That I might gain the Jews.
That I might gain the Jews.
That I might gain the Jews.
Right.
To them that are under the law.
Stop right there. Stop right there. Under what law? He says, to them that I might gain the Jews. Gain what Jews? The Jews. To them that are under the law. What law? The laws of Moses. You see, the Jews and the Pharisees, they were still stuck under the Mosaic covenant. That's why they denied the Messiah. They denied his gospel because they did not understand his gospel. So it says, and as a Jew, I became a Jew, that I might gain the Jew. To them that are under the law of Moses, it says, as under the law, that I might gain them that are under the law of Moses. Okay, so verse 20 is dealing with the law of Moses. Verse 21 is dealing with the law of Christ. Read verse 21, Kanal.
To them that are without law.
Without Christ's law, without the Messiah, Ha Mashayach law. Read.
As without law, being not without law to the Most High,
right?
But under the law of Christ.
Under the law of Christ, right? Go ahead.
that I might gain them that are without law.
That I might gain them that are without the law of Christ. So when you go back to 2nd Ezra now, let's take a look at it one more time. Verse 38, right? It says, and he, Christ, he shall destroy them without labor by the law, his law, which is like unto fire. Right? That's heavy, right?
Yes.
Christ have a law. The Mosaic laws covenant is done away with. Not the moral law, the testimony law, the law that Abraham kept, Isaac kept, Jacob kept, the law that the angels keep in heaven. That law is forever. Okay? God gave Moses the Mosaic covenant to discipline the nation of Israel when they came out of Egypt. They was Egyptized or Egyptian time, whatever you want to call it. They had the ways of the Egyptians, right? So the laws of Moses was given to them to discipline them, right? So now let's go to verse 38, Konoth, so we know we just read verse 38, right? Let's go to Galatians real quick. Galatians 6:2, verse 6 and verse 2. See, Christ brought the kingdom of heaven to earth, and the 10 tribes had to go back to the land to receive and hear the gospel. That is why he told his disciples, go to the lost sheep. Yeah, Galatians chapter 6, verse 2.
Galatians chapter 6, verse 2. Bear ye one another burden, and so fulfill the law of Christ.
Okay, I just want to click that one more time. Okay, all right. So now let's go to verse 39 back in 2nd Ezra.
2nd Ezra chapter 13, verse 39, and read on as wise. And whereas thou sawest that he gathered another peaceable multitude unto him.
Okay, stop right there. So it says that he, bear with me for a second. It says that he gathered another peaceable multitude unto himself, right? Because many of the Jews came against him, right? Like the Pharisees, the Sadducees, the Sanhedrin, the Herodians, they came against him, right? Many other Jews that follow the Pharisees, just like today, you have many brothers and sisters, it's sadly to say, they believe and follow anything these camp leaders say. Right or wrong? Right, Konoth?
Yes, sir, I'm listening to you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, they believe anything these camp leaders say, right? So it says again, where you saw he gathered another peaceable multitude unto himself, right? Now let's go to Matthew 13 and 2. He gathered another peaceable multitude unto himself. Now these multitudes of people, they followed the Messiah and they believed on him and they believed on the gospel. So now let's go to Matthew 13, right?
Matthew 13.
Yeah, read verse 2.
No, I'm sorry.
Matthew 13 and verse 2.
Matthew 13, verse 2.
Matter of fact, read verse 1 and 2. Verses 1 and 2.
Matthew 13, verse 1 and 2. The same day was Yahawashi out of the house and sat by the seaside, and great multitude were gathered together unto him, so that he went unto a ship and sat, and the whole multitude stood on the shore. Right.
So, Konoth, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to read verse 39 in 2nd Ezra, and then you come right behind me and read verse 2 again in Matthew, okay? Verse 39. And whereas thou sawest that he Christ gathered another peaceable multitude unto himself, Read that again.
And the great multitude were gathered together unto him, so that he went.
Let me read this one more time. And whereas you saw that he gathered another peaceable multitude unto him, read that one more time.
And a great multitude were gathered together unto him.
You stop right there. Now let's go to Matthew chapter 9. There goes your multitude right there. That is your multitude right there.
Right. Can I say something real quick? Let me say something real quick. Because I saw a comment made by one of my brothers.
Uh-huh.
And it's we're not going into the law and that aspect of what the brother's teaching, because the brother that made a comment is in F.O.P.E. We trying to show you where the northern southern kingdom aspect of it is dealing with Christ, right? Because we deal with the law, there's no sacrifice. Christ is the sacrificial lamb, right? Right. So we can't stone, right? It's certain things that we don't do in the law. So all the laws, we say we have to follow all the law, and we're not stoning nobody, right? And Christ is the lamb. I don't want to get into Yehuda. I'm just trying to explain to my brothers in FOPE that we mentioned talking about what I'm trying to figure out what other brothers are going. So let's deal with this lesson, then we can talk about that offline. When we talk about the law of Christ, it says what it says. The law of Christ, point blank period. The laws are most not done away with. It's the sacrificial law that's done away with. We're talking about. We on another whole lesson. But go ahead, my bad.
Don't worry about it. Whenever you want to cut in, man, and say something, please do. You too, Shaw Chef. Let's go to the book of Matthew chapter 13 real quick. Let's take a look at Matthew 13, right? I'm sorry, no, I'm sorry, Matthew 9. We just read Matthew 13. Excuse me. So now let us go to Matthew 9, and we are going to read verse 36.
Matthew chapter 9, verse 36 on this wise. But when he saw the multitude, he was moved with compassion on them, right? Because they fainted and were scattered abroad.
Go ahead.
Right. As sheep having no shepherd.
It says that when he saw the multitude, he was moved with compassion, right? Because they fainted and were scattered abroad. Let me read verse 13 one more time in a second. Listen, man, I got to hammer this home. Let's go back. I'm going right back now and read verse 39 in second Esdras. It says one more time. And whereas I saw that he gathered another peaceable multitude unto him. Read that one more time, Kuna, in Matthew.
Verse 36.
I'm sorry, 36. My bad. 36.
Yeah, 36. But when he saw the multitude, he was moved with compassion on them, because they fainted and were scattered abroad as sheep having no shepherd.
They were scattered abroad and sheep having no shepherd. Now, let's take a look. Let's clip here. I want to clip Matthew 19. The book of Matthew 19, verse 2. You see, folks, the Jews had to go back to receive the gospel of the Messiah. That is why it says, and Rachel weeping for her children. Okay, you don't think that God is going to have his son dwelling in Judea and not have the Jews receive the gospel?
Right.
You have the Son of Man dwelling in Judea, right? Let's go to Matthew 19, right? And I want to clip Matthew 19 and verse 2.
Matthew chapter 18, verse 2. And it reads on this wise. And great multitude followed him. He healed them there.
Right, exactly. So again, when we go back, right, verse 39, like I said, I'm going back and forth. When we go back to verse 39, he says, and the angel is telling Ezra, he said, that vision that you saw of that peaceable multitude, he says right here, another peaceable multitude gathered unto him. Okay, these are also the 10 tribes that returned. Okay, because all the tribes had to be in the land in time of the birth, okay, the birth of the Messiah, right? They had to be in the land. So now let's go to Mark, the book of Mark, chapter 4.
Right.
Yeah, Mark 4.
Chapter what?
Chapter 4, and read verse 1.
Mm-hmm. The book of Mark, chapter 4, verse 1, it reads on this wise. And he began again to teach by the seaside. And there was gathered unto him a great multitude, so that he, a great multitude.
Right, go ahead.
So that he entered unto a ship and set in the sea, and the whole multitude was by the sea on the land.
Right, now, let's go to one more. Let's go to the book of John, chapter 11. John 11. And when you get there, right, you can read verse 52.
John chapter 11, verse 52 reads on this wise. And not for that nation only, but that also he should gather together in one the children of the Most High that were scattered abroad.
That was scattered abroad. Now, right here, this is the high priest at the time. His name was Caiaphas, right? Excuse me. And Caiaphas was over all the Pharisees. He was over all the Sanhedrin. He was over the Herodians. He was the top high priest. And not knowing, he prophesied that Christ must die for the nation of Israel. He prophesied not knowing. God used him to prophesy. Also, as a witness that Christ had to die for all the tribes, right? So when you read, in fact, let me read verse 49 through 52. It says, and one of them named Caiaphas, being the high priest, that same year, he said unto them, ye know nothing at all, nor consider that it is expedient for us that one man, Christ, should die for the people, and that the whole nation perish not. Verse 51, and this spake he not of himself, but being the high priest that year, he prophesied that Jesus or Yeshua should die for that nation, right? And not for that nation only, but that also he should gather together in one the children of God that were scattered abroad. Meaning they came back. Many of them returned. Okay, so now let's go back to 2nd Ezra. And let's read verse 40. Are you there, Colonel? He stepped out.
His mic.
I'm sorry, I had my mic muted. My bad.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, we're going back to 2nd Ezra.
Verse 40. I got it.
Yeah, we want to clip verse 40. Let's take a look at verse 40. So now we see that peaceable multitude that he saw, right? Now we are going to see who is the peaceable multitude.
Those are the 10 tribes.
Those are the 10
which
tribes
were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hosea, the king, whom Salmanassar, the king of Assyria, led away captive, and he carried them over the waters, and so came they into another land.
Now stop right there real quick. Stop right there. So now we know that peaceable multitude, those are the 10 tribes that returned, correct? Now, Shawshank, do me a favor, bro. Can you pull up the email? It says Levite priest captive. It says Levite priest captive to Assyria. Pull up that if you can find it.
I got
So those peaceable multitude.
it. Hold on.
Okay, great. All right. Yes. If
Hold
you
on.
pull that up, bro, I appreciate it. I'm about to show you guys something. We're about to take a look at the water system of the Euphrates and the Tigris. Now, this here is what you call the archives, all right, or the correspondence of Sargon, right? Sargon, and he's also in the Bible, right? He was a king of Assyria, as you try to locate it, whatever. So he was a king, and he's mentioned in the Bible, right? And here's his writings right here. I have all his writings, right? That was translated from the Aramean language into the English, right? So,
All right.
let me know when you
Levi priest now.
Are you having a word time?
Yes, we want it.
It should say it should be an email that says Levite priest.
It's right there.
Okay, right. Now, this is inside the book, right? Bear with me for a second, because we got to hammer this thing home. This is inside the book on page 93. Now, what you see here, folks, this is a Levite priest being taken to captivity by the Assyrians. Okay, let me repeat that one more time.
Look like Negroes to me.
Exactly. Let me read the bottom. Thank you for blowing that up. I appreciate that, bro. It says here, under arrest, okay? This is a Levite priest being carried into Assyria. And the reason why I say this is because on that line chart, they got 10 tribes, correct?
Right.
Okay. I'm sorry. No, not 10 tribes. I'm sorry. They have 9 tribes. They got 9 tribes listed as the so-called Northern Kingdom, correct? QANATH and Shoshan?
Gun.
Right. So they got 9 tribes, right? So who is the 10th tribe? Levi, the Levites. The 10 tribes could not migrate nowhere without the Levitical priest to teach the laws of Moses. We're going to get there. But this is an image, as you see here, folks, of the Assyrians carrying a Levite priest into captivity. These are from the wars of Assyria. So that kills that lie, okay, that the Levites were not living among the Northern Kingdom and did not go into captivity with the Northern Kingdom. That kills that lie completely. Now, Shoshan, in that same email, right? Do you see 2 more pages? Okay, right there. Let's start. Let me read this. Let me read this right here. It says here, look what it says here concerning the river. Thanks for blowing that up. It says here, by the gods of the king, my lord, the day that the beams came to me, okay, the official it says did not leave. I swear the beams are on the river bank. But look what he says here. But the water in the river is low, and the difficult spots of the river are many. So he's telling the king, one of the top officials, that the water in the river is low. You see that? These are real writings right here. These are real writings from the Assyrian archives.
Are you sure them not? Are you sure that them writings are not from Mexico?
Thank you. Right. Mexico, right? So it says, hey, Shoshan, what it says again, Shoshan? I just want to make sure I'm not lying now. I want to make sure we got 2 or 3 witnesses looking at this right here.
Hey.
I read it. I read it. It says again, he said, but the
my
water.
Lord, today that
you see what happened is some of the words are broken up because they couldn't translate. They couldn't translate some of it. That's why you see like those little dots, because it was broken up. So they could not translate everything, you see? But it says official, it says, now this is official. He's telling Sargon the king of Assyria. He says, did not leave me. He says, I swear the beams are on the river bank, but the water in the river is low. You see that? And then he says, and the difficult spots of the river are many. Now, I just want to show you guys that real quick. So now let's go back. In fact, go to the one more image. You should have one more, Shawsham, one more in that same email. If not, don't worry. If not, don't worry about it. Don't worry. If not, don't worry. Don't worry. I just want to show you guys. Okay.
Nah, that's all. It says letters from.
Okay.
Cabal.
No, don't worry. Don't worry. Okay. No.
Okay.
No, we're gonna get there. Don't worry. Don't worry. Let's continue. Let's go now. Let's go. I just want to show that real quick. So you saw they was carrying the Levite priest into captivity, right?
Yes, sir.
And they said that the waters were low, correct? Right? So now let's go back to second Ezra. Let's go back and take a look. Let's go to second Ezra and take another look. Let's go back, verse 40 again. It says, those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hosea the king, whom Shalmaneser the king of Assyria led away captive. Again, do you guys see me? Okay. He carried them over. He carried them over the waters, and so came they into another land. Right. So when you go to the book of 2 Kings, right, verse 8, chapter 18, and read verses 10 through 11. You want to read that real quick, Shawsham or QANATH?
I got it. 2 Kings chapter what?
Chapter 18. Chapter 18, verses 10 through 11.
2 Kings chapter 18, verse 10 through 11. And at the end of 3 years, they took it, even the 6th year of Hezekiah, that in the 9th year of Hosea, king of Israel, Samaria was taken. Verse 11. And the king of Assyria did carry away Israel, Negro, unto Assyria, and put them in Halah and in Habah by the river of Gozan and in the city of Medes. Okay, now let's go back to Ezra. Let's read verse 41. We just gave you a witness. 2 Kings is the witness to verse 40. So verse 41, 2 Ezra chapter 13, verse 41. On this wise, but they took these counsels among themselves, that they would leave the multitude of the heathens and go forth unto a further country, a further country where never mankind dwelt.
Well, never mankind dwelt, right? And Shawsham, can you do me a favor? You see the folder that says, it says lesson Jews above the Tigris and Euphrates.
Okay, hold on, let me find it.
It says Jews above the Tigris and Euphrates.
Okay, I found it. Yeah, I got you.
And while Shawsham finding that, after this, I don't know if we're going to spend the time, but we're going to deal with anybody want to call in later. Actually, Job Issachar, if he only show his face, we let him come in.
Okay.
After the live.
Yeah, it says the Jews above the Tigris and Euphrates. Huh? I'm gonna show you guys something.
I'm about to pull it up.
Okay, take your time. Take your time. Okay, it should be two. It should be two images, right? That's the first image. Blow that up. Yeah, blow that up. Blow it. Okay.
What part you want me to blow up? What part? What part?
Just what it said. The yellow. Let's blow it up. Blow it up. Okay, that's good. Right there.
Okay, I'm trying to fit it so they can.
Okay. So now. Okay. So now we see on this map, right? You see the Euphrates and you see the tigers, right? Now, as QANATH read, the king of Assyria, he carried the Jews, right? And he placed them in 3 locations, right? So not only did he place them above the Euphrates, he also placed them above the Tigris River, right? So you had Jews scattered all over that region. You had Jews scattered 40 miles away, 100 miles away, 50 miles away, etc. Right? In fact, they said the widest part from the Euphrates to the Tigris is 100 miles. The widest part, 100 miles, correct? It should be one more image. Can you pull up the second image? If not, don't worry about it. It should be one more. In that same email, but if not, don't worry. We're just going to continue. Yes, that's it. Blow that up right there. Now, you see these little people on the screen here? You see those people up by Midia? And then you see the people over here above by Nineveh, above the Tigris. And then you see the people over here by Habar. You see, they were spread all in that region. Those little black dots, those are peoples right there, right? So they were scattered. Right. They were scattered 100 miles away, 60 miles away, many miles away. So when it says they took the opportunity or the counsel among themselves to leave the multitude of the heathen to go to a further country where never mankind dwelt. Now the question that I ask everybody who's watching this lesson tonight, right? If they scattered hundreds of miles away, it's like I live in New York City, right? I live in Far Rockaway, Queens now, right? And QANATH live in Baltimore, right? I don't know, DC, right? And Shawsham you live in Baltimore, right? Right, Shawsham?
Con.
Okay, you live in Baltimore. You may have somebody else that live in Pennsylvania, right? Now let's say some big disaster happened on the East Coast, right? Now, let's say we did not have no phones, no communications, because none of that stuff existed back then. We all know this, right? So how did they communicate? When did they decide to leave? How? If they scattered miles apart with no communication, but it says they took the counsel among themselves to lead the multitude of the heathen, right? To lead the multitude of the heathen, how did they communicate? Did they leave together the same day? Did they all meet up, say, you know what? Let's all meet up in Babylon. Let's get on some ships and leave and get the hell out of here. Did that happen? Did they all meet up somewhere and got on some damn ships and came over here? When they live in miles away, 40 miles away, 50 miles away, 100 miles away with no communication? No, they did not. They did not all leave at the same time. They left. Many of them left, but not all of them left. Like Tobit didn't leave, and he was of the tribe of Naphtali, right? Right, QANATH?
Yes, sir.
He was a tribe of Naphtali. He did not leave, right? So the question is now, if they scattered all over, hundreds of miles away, how did they leave? When did they leave? And who was ruling at the time? So now what we're going to do now, Shawsham, I want you to pull up where it says Sennacherib. Where it says Sennacherib. Now you can pull that up.
Okay.
The email that said the lesson of Sennacherib, you can pull that up now. Now we're going to see, and we're going to find out when the Jews left. When did they leave? I mean, I want you folks to use your brains now. They scattered miles away from each other, right? They live in miles and miles away, okay? So it says one more time. Let me click this one more time as you pull that up. It says one more time in verse 41. You have to read between. Yes, that's it. Yes, yep.
Yoda.
You have to read between the words.
Yes, he said yes.
Yeah, pull it up. Yes, I'm just going to read this one more time while you do that, right? It says, you guys can see me?
Yes.
Okay, my screen went blank again. It says, they took this counsel among themselves. It says among themselves. Now, why does it say, or why do it say among themselves? Because they was living miles away from each other. It's like QANATH is sitting in his house. I'm sitting in my house in New York City. A big disaster happened. So I'm talking to my loved ones. He's talking. We all decide to do the same thing. We all decide to leave. We thinking the same thing. He's thinking the same thing I'm thinking, because it's a big disaster that take place. So then they left. That's what happened. They left, but they did not all leave at the same time. Okay. So when you pull it up, I'm going to read. We're going to go into the history now. We're going to clip this here and deal with the timeline, right? We're going to deal with the timeline to see when did they leave. Captivity. They were in captivity, right?
Yes, sir.
They were scattered miles away from each other, right? So when did they leave? And how did they leave? And did they leave together? No, they did not. They did not leave together. They left. They became what you call refugees. That's what they became, refugees. Are you having a hard time pulling that up? Okay. No, that's not it. Wait. Yeah, that's it. That's it.
You want to smack it with death, right?
Okay, so you can blow it up. I'm going to read it. That's it. Blow it up. What I'm going to do now, we are going to read and see when did they leave. So QANATH, I want you to do me a favor before I read this, right? I want you to go to, let's go to 2 Kings. And anybody, excuse me, anybody who's watching, right?
I'm there. 2 Kings 17.
2 Kings, right? Let me get there also. I want to get there with you. Let's go to 2 Kings. And we're going 17. We're going to chapter 19.
19, come on.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay, so you see they were scattered, right? Many miles away from each other, right? With no communication.
Right.
That's why it says they took the opportunity among themselves. It says among themselves, because they was living many miles away. So they was all thinking 2 Kings 19 and read verses 35 through 37.
Got it. And 2 Kings chapter 19, verse 35.
Uh-huh.
It says this, and it came to pass that night that the angel of the Most High went out and smote in the camp of the Assyrians 184,500. And when they arose early in the morning, behold, they were all dead corpses. Verse 36. So did, how you say this all the way?
Sennacherib.
So Sennacherib, king of Assyria, departed and went and returned and dwelt at Nineveh. Nineveh, verse 37. And it came to pass, as he was worshiping in the house of Nisroch, his god, that
Adremelech, this guy named Adremelech and Sherezer, his son, that was his two sons,
smote them with the sword, and they escaped into the land of Azamina. And Esarhaddon, his son, region in his stead.
So it says one more time. All right. So this is when Jeremiah, right? Jeremiah and Hezekiah. I think it was Hezekiah. Yeah, Hezekiah. Hezekiah and Jeremiah, they prayed to God, right? Because the king of Assyria, Sennacherib, he had Jerusalem surrounded with armies, right? So they prayed to God. So what happened? The Most High sent an angel and slew all the men of Sennacherib. So that the next morning, when they woke up, they saw all the men was dead, right? So it says again, let me clip this one more time. It says again in verse 36, so Sennacherib, king of Assyria, departed. He departed and went and returned and dwelt at Nineveh, which is above the Tigris, right? Verse 37. And it came to pass, as he was worshiping in the house, Nesrach, his god, that Adremelech and Sherezer, his sons, they smote him. They killed him, right? With a sword, and they escaped into the land of Armenia. And it says, and Esau hardened, okay, Esau hardened, keep that in mind, Esau hardened, his son reigned in his stead. So Sennacherib's 2 sons, they killed him, right? His 2 older sons. Now, let's go read this now that, excuse me, that Shamshah have on the screen now. We're going to see and get the timeline of when the Jews escaped, the 10 tribes left. This is when they left. They left after the death of Sennacherib. Okay? And most of all the Jewish scholars agree. I have many books on this topic. They agree that's when the 10 tribes left. Because, like I said, remember, they were in captivity above the Tigris and above the Euphrates, and they were scattered, okay, scattered many miles away from each other. I'm talking about 30 miles away, 50 miles away, 100 miles away, 140 miles away. So they was all thinking the same thing. Why? Because it was a civil war. A civil war between who? Let's go now and read and get the information. Okay? They got the information from the writings of the Assyrians. Let's see what happened. It says here, and he have it on the screen right here. It says, after Sennacherib's eldest son, and higher, okay, Shur-Nadin, I can't pronounce that, Shumi, had been captured and presumably executed in, okay, so he had another son, okay, so it says that Sennacherib had another son, but he was murdered, right? It says he was executed in 694 BC, okay, and then it says, and the new hire had originally been the second eldest son, Ador Mulisu, but then it says, but in 684 BC, Esau hardened. We just read about Esau hardened right here in 2 Kings. Okay, after his 2 elder sons killed him, he became the next king. But look what it says here. Let's take a look at this, right? It says, so Esau hardened, a younger son was appointed instead, right? But look what it says here. Angered by this decision, it says, Ardar Malusu and another brother, Sherezer. So this guy, Ardar Malusu or Malisu, his name in the King James is Adremelech. Okay, he's the same person. So it says that him and his brother, they murdered their father. So it says, and they murdered their father in 681 BC, as we just read in the Bible. And they planned to seize the Syrian throne. You see that? So they was planning on taking over the throne, right? So what happened? Let's see what happened. It says, and it was only with great difficulty that Esau hardened, as we just read in 2 Kings 19, verse 37. He became the next king. He was the youngest of all Sennacherib's sons. He was the youngest, right? So it says, Esau hardened, successfully ascended to the throne. But look what it says here. Defeating his brothers in a civil war, which lasted 6 weeks. Let me read that again. This is real history, folks. Biblical history. The scholars got all the writings from Assyria, from the reliefs, the stones. They got all the writings, but they just translated the writings into English. Let's read it again. Let's look at it one more time. It says, and it was only with great difficulty that Esau hardened, as we just read in 2 Kings, successfully ascended the throne, defeating his brothers in a civil war, which lasted 6 weeks. Okay, so most of the scholars agree during the 6 weeks of civil war, that is when the 10 tribes left. That's when they left. That's when they took the opportunity to leave. Okay. Shawsham, you have another image on that same email? No? If not, don't worry about it. In that same email that I sent you. So that is when the 10 tribes, they took the opportunity to, oh yes, right here, yes. Blow it up for me, Shawsham. That is when they took the opportunity to leave.
Hold on.
During the civil war. It was a 6-week civil war. Yeah, you can blow up the top paragraph first, and then we'll read. Yes, go down a little bit. Yes, right here. Okay. Now let's read and see. Let us read and see what Esau Hardin said about his brothers, right? About his 2 brothers, right? So let's click this and read it real quick. He said, look what he says here. He says, of my brothers, right? The younger brother was I, but by decree, the gods Ashur and Shamek, Baal and Nabu, my father exalted me amid a gathering of my brothers. He asked Shemeth, is this my hire? And the gods answered, he is your second self. And then my brothers went mad. See that? He says, because his father made him to be the next king. His 2 older brothers, they got upset. So they tried. So this is the reason why they killed their father. When you read in 2 Kings 19 and verse 37, that's the reason why they killed him. So now you know the history behind why they killed him. Because he made so his youngest son took over, right? Which is Esau Hardin, right? So he says, and then my brothers went mad and they drew swords godlessly in the middle of Nineveh, right? And it says, and I'm gonna continue right here. It says, all the gods looked with wrath on the deeds of these scoundrels, brought their strength to weakness, and humbled them beneath me. Okay. Scroll down a little bit more, Shawsham, if you can. You have any more to that, Shawsham?
Next page.
Yeah, right here. Yes, that's it. Now look what he says here. Look what Esau Hardin said about his 2 brothers. Okay, look what he said. He says, malicious gossip, slander, and falsehood. That sounds like Hebrew Israelites to me. He says, malicious gossip, slander, and falsehood. He says, Esau Hardin's brother, they wove around me. He said, my brothers wove around me in a godless way, lies and insincerity. They plotted evil behind my back. Okay, behind my back, against the will of the gods, they alienated my father's well-disposed heart from me. Though in secret, his heart was affected with compassion, and he still intended me to exercise kingship. So that's it. So now you see that is the history of and how the 10 tribes escaped. Okay, so we're done with that.
One, I think.
No, I'm not gonna read that part. Excuse me. So let's continue.
Okay.
So that's when they escaped. So now we know when they escaped. They escaped during the Civil War. And they did not all leave together. It says they left. They left, yes, but not all together. Okay. In fact, when you go read, let me real quick, Shamshar, I want you to go to one more. Go to this email I sent you, right? It says, bear with me for a second.
And for everybody that's listening, like I said, they all didn't leave together, and some was still left behind. So obviously this lesson is kicking behind because I'm listening to the chat. I'm actually watching the chat, and it's really hurting some people right now. And it's nothing. It's just truth coming out. That's it. So there's no reason to be upset. Also, Lima and Larry, great job. I can't see who else is moderator. Great job. Great job that you brothers and sisters are doing. So great. Where you at, Yehuda? I got you. Okay, we lost Yehuda real quick. It looked like we lost Shawsham.
Oh, we did. What you say? Hold on a second, QANATH.
Hey, Shawshan, mute your mic. You're gonna
I'm on mute. Hold on. I just added Yehuda back. I'm on mute. Go ahead.
Okay.
Are we good?
Yeah, we good.
I'm telling you, man, the devil don't want this information out, man.
You on.
Hey, look, I tell you, we lost a lot of people who was against us. Then when the heat started getting under the feet, they started running.
Right. You were saying something about the chat room or something. You were saying?
No, I was just thanking our moderators, Larry, Lima, and I forgot the other person you have on that, Shawshan. You know more so than me because I don't control it. Shawshan controls that. I just want to thank y'all for y'all.
Star.
Yeah, Star. Yeah, I know what that is. Yeah, I was like to thank y'all for a wonderful job. Also, for everybody else that's on, we'd like to thank you guys for watching. Even the haters, we'd like to thank you all for watching. Keep watching because even in your hatred, you know, hopefully we can wisen you up to get some understanding. So I know a lot of times we start the hate start building up is because the lesson is powerful. So go ahead, you. Let's get it.
Okay, so now we know when the 10 tribes left, right? We got the timeline. They left during the Civil War. Okay, that is why it says one more time. It says, let's go back and look at it. That's why it says, but they took this counsel among themselves, meaning each individual. Okay, because like I said, they was living many miles away. They were scattered all over the Tigris and the Euphrates, right? So they wasn't living close to each other. They didn't have communications. That's why it says they took the counsel among themselves to leave.
Right.
Okay, so I want to read something real quick. I want to go to the Jewish travelers, right? I just want to click. Hey, Shawshan, do you see anything that I sent you that says maybe it might say maybe not. Did I send any email called Jewish Travelers, anything like that? I don't think I did.
Hold on.
I don't think so. I think I forgot, but that's okay. That's okay. If you don't find it, you know.
No.
Excuse me. No, I don't think so.
No, you ain't.
So let me read this real quick.
You ain't saying no.
Okay. All right. So Eldad the Danite, he's going to back up exactly what I just showed you with the civil war between Esau Hardin and his two older brothers, right? So during the Civil War, which lasted, they say, about 6 weeks, that's when they took the opportunity among themselves to leave. Okay? That's when they left. But they did not all leave together. Okay? You have many scattered all in the city of the Medes and Midia, Nineveh, Harbor, all over. I'm talking about 80 miles apart, 100 miles apart. So I just want to read this real quick, and then we're going to continue. Okay, this is the Jewish travelers. These are real letters. Okay, real letters, as you can see, right? Of early century Jewish travelers, right? So let's read and see what he says here. Eldad the Danite goes back to let's see, 880 AD. Okay, he was a real Jew, he was a black Jew, 880 AD. And he wrote letters, and he says after Sennacherib, king of Assyria, arose and took the Reubenites and the Gadites and the half tribe of Manasseh captive, and took them to Halah and Habar, and the river goes on, and the city of Midia, as QANATH read. And Sennacherib arose a second time and took captive the tribe of Asher and the tribe of Naphtali, and led them into the land of Assyria. And after, he says, after the death of Sennacherib, as we just read, 3 tribes. He said the first 3 to leave, 3 tribes of Israel being Naphtali, Gad, and Asher, they journey on their own, okay, to the land of Cush. And the land of Cush, many parts of Africa, okay, used to be the land of Cush. In fact, I want you to pull up a map real quick, Shamshar. Bear with me for a second. Let me get it real quick here. I want you to pull up a map. Yes, you see something say lessons Ethiopia, Libya map. It says Ethiopia, Libya map.
Hold on.
Okay.
See part 2 lessons, Libya map, Isaiah 66.
Yeah, that's it.
That's not it?
Yep. No, that's it.
Okay, hold on.
Even Eldad and
Danite.
Okay, while you're doing that, even Eldad and Danite said, after the death of Sennacherib, he said the same thing. The first 3 tribes to migrate was Naphtali, Gad, and Asher. And they went into Africa. He said they went into Africa. They did not go and
they went to South America. I thought they went to South America and took boats down there and freeze.
Yeah, right. I thought they took some rowboats.
Right. Is it?
That's the one.
Yes, that's one. Yes, blow it up for me, Chef. Yeah, that's one of them. Blow it up for me. Blow it up. Excuse me. Okay, blow up a little more. Okay, when you see, go back. Okay, yeah. When you see in the middle, it says Libya. You see that? Libya. Libya. You see that? Right in the middle. Right there. Yep. Libya. Okay, this is the old map. So a lot of the old maps, right? I'm gonna show you more. What's called Libya. Keep that in mind. Libya and Cush, also in Cush and Ethiopia. I'm going to show you. So this is the first map. You see Libya, right? This was called Libya. Okay, and you see the word Africa above. Now let's go to another map, Chef. And you can pull up another map. That'll be good. Now, keep going, not that one. I want to get a different one. That's the same one. Go to it. Keep going. Keep going. Right here. Okay, blow that up real quick. Yeah, blow that one up right there. Yes. A little more, blow it up a little more. You're gonna see the word right up the top left. It says Ludium.
Yeah, I see it.
Right by the Mediterranean Sea.
Yeah,
right.
Black Sea, Mediterranean, Black Sea. Yep.
No. Right. No. Go back where the yellow part is. And the North Africa. Go back up. Okay. Go over. It says Lud. What you see the word Mediterranean Sea? It says Lud.
Far left, Sham. Yep, that's
far left. Right there. Ludium. That was another name, which is Lud, because I'm gonna show you guys something. Lud and Libya was the same thing. I'm going to show you. Okay, so Lud, which is Lud, Lud. Keep that in mind. Ludium and Libya is the same thing, right? So now let's go to another map. It's one particular map I want to get to.
All praise to the Most High. Hope everybody's enjoying this presentation.
Yes, blow that map up. Blow it up. I'm gonna show you guys something. I go back to North Africa. I'm not doing Europe. Go back down to North Africa. Yeah, North Africa. Yeah, keep going. Okay, you see Lud, Lud. You see that? Lud. You see? Lud. So keep that in mind, okay? Lud, because we're going to deal with a scripture later on, right? To show you that they went to West Africa, okay? Excuse me. We're going to show you that they went to West Africa. Lud. So now, that's the last map, Shoshan? Oh, Shawsham. Okay, do me a favor. One more thing, bro. One more thing. Go to the email that says East. Wait with me for a second. Is there another image beside that one? That's the last one.
Did you the Holy Mount of Zion, the ancient world map? You wanted that one, or the New Jerusalem?
Let me see. Yeah, let me see what it looks like.
Hold on. What about this?
We are an hour and 45 minutes in. We appreciate your patience and hope you're getting edified.
This map here, that was dealing with Ephraim, but that wasn't the one I wanted. That wasn't the one I wanted. I'll let you know. Let's keep going. I'll let you know. You might have to go to another email.
Hold on. I think I know. Wait a minute. I think you want this one. Hold on. I think you're talking about this one here. Hold on. Let me download it. I don't think I downloaded this one.
Okay.
Hold on 1 second.
Yeah, I see it.
I think it's this one. Is it?
Let me see.
Is it? Hold on, Libya.
Yes, that's one. Yep. Blow it up.
The Mediterranean.
Okay, you see, it says put. You see Libya and put Libya. Keep that in mind, Libya. Okay, which is good, which is also good. Okay, Libya. Okay, and you see put way at the west, right? All right, that's another old map. That's the only map in that email you got, Chef Shaw? It's one in particular one I want to show. It's dealing with, it shows the name of Ethiopia all over the map. All over. That's the last one?
Okay.
If not,
that map was in here, so.
Okay.
Part 2, Africa. Let me see something.
Okay.
Hold on, I got one right here.
If not,
oh, you sent me some of the same stuff twice.
There might be.
Let me try to find another email that say map.
Yeah, that's it. You saw the one that said Ethiopia, right? It says Ethiopia.
Ethiopia lessons. Yeah, I got it.
That's it right there.
I got it. I just put it up. All right. It's a lot.
Sure.
All right, I'm gonna just download all of them. Hold on. Just give me 1 second.
Yes, please. Yep. So while you're doing that, right? So it says, even Eldad the Danite says, after the death of Sennacherib, that the first 3 tribes to leave was Naphtali, Gad, and Asher, and they went into Africa. Okay. And now we know the timeline. We know when they left and how they left. Right? They left during the Civil War. That's when they left. They became what you call refugees. That's what happened. And they did not all leave at the same time because they were scattered, like many miles away. So now you know what happened. Okay, there we go.
Yeah,
man, this thing been acting up all night.
No, I mean we've been good for so far, but I don't know what happened. All of a sudden, I mean, just for a second, but we'll be all right.
Okay, so I got it.
Somebody is upset.
You got it. So now what we're about to see now, yes, that's it right there. Blow that up. I'm about to show you guys something. Excuse me. Yes, sir. This is it right here.
Ethiopia right here.
Right here. Blow it up. Blow it up over to Egypt. We're gonna work our way around it. Let's blow it up. Yeah, go back. Do that one first. Yeah, this one first. Yep. Blow it up a little more. You see what it says Ethiopia? You see what it says Ethiopia and Egypt? Right? Ethiopia and Egypt.
Right.
Okay. Now go to the next. Go to the next. The next picture. Blow that up. Blow it up right there. Blow that one up too. You see what it says? Libya? Right? Go back down. You see Libya? Libia. Libya. Can you, okay, go to the next picture. Blow that up. Blow this one up too. Blow that up for me, please, right here. Okay, you see what it says? Ethiopians? Ethiopians? This is right here. This is West Africa. Okay, West Africa. It says Ethiopians. So many parts of Africa was called Ethiopia, Kush. So when we're dealing with the Bible, right? When it says Kush, at this particular time, it was talking about many parts of Africa, right? So this is West Africa right here, Ethiopians. Okay, go to the next. Yeah. Okay, blow that up. Blow this one up right here. Now this is right here, right near where it used to be Dahomey, and where you see the tribe of Judah used to be at. Blow it up a little more. You see what it says Ethiopia? You see that? Ethiopia? You see? This is where the slave port used to be, the slave port. You see, Ethiopia. It was called Ethiopia, right? Which is Kush. So this was considered to be Kush. Okay, in ancient times, many parts of Africa was considered to be Kush. Just want to show you guys, and you saw the word Libya, right? Libya, correct? Okay, go to the next. And then we're going to go right back in the script. We're going to go back to the Bible. Go one more. I think it should be one more, right? Yes, blow that up. This is South Africa now. Watch this. Blow it up. This is South Africa. You can see the word. See the word Ethiopia? Ethiopia. You see that?
Good.
Which is Kush. Ethiopia, Kush, and I showed you Libya on like 3 maps. So that's it. Now we can continue to go back. Now we're going to go back now. We're going to go back to 2nd Ezra. You see that?
Got it. Yep.
Yeah, that was very vital that I showed these maps. So this is going to play right into the lesson, you know? Excuse me, I have that. Let's go now. You still got more to show? You scrolling around there? Where it says Ethiopia interior, right? You see in this map, this old map here, you see the word Ethiopia all over Africa, all over the map. Okay, you see the word all over. You see the words Ethiopia in North, East Africa, West Africa, South Africa, all over. So that's it. Let's go back now. Let's go back to 2nd Ezra.
2nd Ezra, I got it.
Yeah, let's go back to 2nd Ezra. So let's pick back up and read verse 40 one more time. You want to read it one more time?
Yes, sir. 2nd Ezra chapter 13, verse 40, and it reads on this wise. Those are the 10 tribes, right, which were scattered, which was carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hosea, right, the king, right, whom Salmanasseh, the king of Assyria, led away captive, and he carried them over the waters, and so came they unto another land.
Exactly. What's going on?
What's wrong? What's wrong?
Yeah, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I read it again. Everybody there?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. What's wrong?
This thing is acting up, man.
I'll read it again. Verse 40. Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hosea, the king, whom Salmanasseh, the king of Assyria, led away captive, and he carried them over the waters, and so came they into another land.
Right.
Okay, they really messing with us right now. They are really messing. So
yeah, they messing with it must be.
No, I mean, take them out, bring them back in. I mean, it's been 2 hours. Maybe we need to finish up another time, make it a part 3. Tell them that. Type in the chat. Maybe need to make it a part. I got it.
He not on yet.
Man, this thing is this.
They're messing with
This
your
thing
internet.
is not tonight.
Yeah, QANATH jumped out by.
Yeah, this thing is acting up, man. I wonder what's going on with it.
There you go.
Are you back? Okay.
Okay. Hey, we 2 hours in. I don't know if you want to do a part 3 because we already 2 hours in.
Yeah, we can do a part 3. Yeah, we can do a part 3 because I just want to show people the timeline.
Right.
Yeah, we'll do part 3. I just want to show people the timeline when the Jews left and how they left. So now they know they did not all leave together.
Right.
They was living all over. They know the history now. They know. Nobody can deny this. Yeah, we'll do part 3. Part 3.
Yeah. I mean, we lined it all the way up. If you want to give a brief breakdown before we leave, how you led up to that, and then go into what we're going to talk about in part.
Yes. Part 3. Since we went into the history of the timeline of Sennacherib, his sons murdering him, right? His two older sons, right? And his youngest son took over, and the 2 older sons, they try to outcast him. So basically, the youngest son, Esau Harden, which is mentioned in the Bible, he went to exile, right? But he came back with an army, and he fought his 2 older brothers, and they had a civil war that lasted for 6 weeks. And all the scholars agree that's when they left. But they did not all leave at the same time because they was living, they were scattered all abroad, right? But they was thinking the same thing. They said, look, it's a civil war. So some of them decided to leave. That's what happened, right? So the next lesson, I'm going to prove and show that they went into West Africa. So the next lesson is going to be focused on West Africa and coming back to receive the gospel of the Messiah. That'll be part
all to the Most High. So I hope everybody got edified. And you say that's part 3, but it's probably going to be a part 20. So we got a long way to go. You know, I saw a couple of people on here. Like I said, I'd like to thank the moderators again. All praise to the Most High. Thank you. We can't say thank you enough. Thank you for anybody. Nobody donated, you know, but anybody donated to help try to get a better equipment. I mean, it's all right. We're gonna still make it happen anyway.
Somebody donated.
You know, but, you say $1?
Yeah, somebody donated $1.
All praise. Hey, that's good. Hey, something better than nothing. But hey, at the end of the day, man, we thank you. You know, and we for our people edification, to edify you and to wake you up. So tomorrow, Most High will, we got breaking news, and then we're gonna just really get back to the lessons, you know, on the saga that's going on, you know, after the Lord saga tomorrow, after the interviews and so on and so forth. Most High will, we have interviews also with a couple of brothers and sisters in Africa on this, and pardon my language, on this dumbass video I saw today. Didn't make no damn sense, right? Today, talk about brothers and sisters in Africa dealing with underage marriages. So I'm just trying to figure out, what would you search out on underage marriage? with children. I mean, we still do things over here in our captivity also. So you're going to have that wherever you go. We got homosexuality here, homosexuality in Europe, homosexuality in Africa. So it doesn't matter, right? But we're not going to let you deflect or direct anything outside of what's going on here with us. But hey, we thank you guys, man. Most High bless. Part 3 coming next week, probably a part 24, and who knows when. You know, so thank you guys. Yehuda, Shasham, great job, man. Great lesson, great with the slides and everything, man. So hey, F.O.P.E, Yehuda, Israel, man. All praise to the Most High. We love y'all all. With that, shalom.
Shalom, grace and peace.
Please, and please tune in for tomorrow night for the time 9 o'clock. We'll be dealing with the QANATH. We're supposed to talk the interviews tomorrow. So please tune in tomorrow at 9 o'clock, same time. Yeah, please. Brothers and sisters will be coming out, bringing out their proof of allegations of pedophilia in the nation of Israel, and they'll be bringing out people and calling them out. So make sure y'all come in and tune in, because they got a lot of evidence. A lot of people don't want to come out, so it won't be hit no more. The Most High is going to expose it. Hopefully, they're still going to do it. We had a lot of people call claiming to be priests and elders and actually condone pedophilia. So please make sure y'all here at the same time. This will be the final draw for that. Okay. So with that, I would say shalom.
And let me say something real quick before we go. Hold on. Let me say something real quick before we go. I know y'all want us to debate this guy, Job Israel. He was kind of disrespectful tonight on the line, even though we let him stay on there.
Hey, listen, man.
Go ahead.
Forget that dude, man.
He's all due respect, he's not even worthy of it.
Don't even worry about that dude, man.
Yeah, he's not even worthy of debate, guys. I know y'all want to see it. I mean, we have debated other people who is way more, I'm not trying to disrespect them, intelligent and have way more history and knowledge of the Bible. And here's a man who don't want to show himself, don't even want to show his face. So I'd rather not even deal with that, because we're not trying to be braggadocious. He's not scholarly equipped or biblical equipped, you know, at all, and obviously not morally equipped, because some of the comments I saw on the line tonight proves that. You know, I like to thank him also. You know, I take the bitter with the sweet. I like to thank him with the pedophilia. He don't agree with that, you know, and anybody should agree with that. So I like to thank him on that behalf, you know. But you know, just take a back seat to the true seed, brother, to the true seed. All right. So again, man, shalom, sojourners. You know, prepare yourself for the cotton field in the back of it, all the way in the back, Joe. All the way in the back. All right, man.
Right. Cockroach and I should be definitely you.
Job, you're gonna be all slavery. Yeah, they got SBK in slavery.
See y'all
the whole
night.
9. Hey.
Yeah.
Shalom, man. Shalom.